Hello people, I'm going to put this in, the video is already done, but I forgot to put in something, so I'm going to go back and put this at the very beginning of the video and then go ahead and start the video for you. In about 8 to 10 days, I'm going to have a guy who's going to help me build 2 websites. I promised you guys that I would build an internet church and that I would build a site just for us, in case Google decides to censor me. I'm not going to be shut down. My father is not going to have it. So I want you guys, I promise you that they would be built, and they are going to be built. And the reason why it's taken so long is because I had to do it a certain way, because they're not just typical websites. They have to be able to host videos, and they have to be able to, the site has to be able to be free from any kind of censorship. So I'm going to put the names up on the board, and if you will save them, write them down, whatever that you have to do. No, they're not available yet, but in just a couple of weeks they will be. And I'm going to give you my email in case anything should ever happen, for those few of you who would like to continue to follow my work as we go forward. I don't want you to lose that if it's something that you choose. I humbly say that to you. So I'm going to give you the names of these sites and my emails, and you can save them in case something should ever happen. Thanks. You know, every time I sit down to make a video, I realize that I'm being watched by my father to be responsible and to be honest and to do the best that I can. And I understand that I have to do this with handcuffs on, because there is a force that's trying to restrict me and keep me from doing this. And this is Google, YouTube, but it's really just evil spirits and beings in flesh form that follow them. That's fine. But this is about hate, tolerance, intolerance, lies, and hypocrisy, and our free speech. And I made a couple videos, and it got my mind to going here. And this was a couple videos that I had made about, 2 videos that I had made last week about a kindergartner in California who was introduced to, children were introduced to transgenderism, is what it's called. And I made another video about a pastor who is a hypocrite, who was actually being condescending and trying to say that he was railing against the Klan, Nazis, and white supremacists, when what he was actually doing, he was targeting the most innocent of white people, poor, struggling white people who are doing the best they can, who have not hurt anybody. That's who he was really going after. And then a YouTuber asked me a question, and it angered me, but it also got me to thinking about something that maybe I should do for my channel to get people to understand what I believe and why I believe it, so there's no misunderstanding. So I want you guys to, this is from Shelby Hughes, and I appreciate AP and Proletarian for taking on this person, because I wasn't on YouTube for 3 or 4 days. I can't do it every single day. It's bad for my spirit. But I appreciate both of you being Christian warriors and taking on this person and even trying to help them. Shelby Hughes says, I have a question for you, Rob Lee. What have you got against white nationalists? Was the National Republic of the United States of America the original Constitution, yada yada yada, created for white Caucasians? This country has been morphed into a communist, Bolshevik, Jewish, multicultural, multiracial society cesspool known as the United States, blah blah blah. And why aren't you a white nationalist? So I replied to Shelby, because the question offended me and it pissed me off, quite frankly. To first of all, to almost as if I'm not right with what's going on because I'm not a white nationalist. So here's my reply. Let me give you, and this has been taken down, by the way. I didn't take it down. Shelby Hughes obviously deleted the thread because he or she was having his or her rear end handed to him or her by AP and Proletarian. So my reply is, let me give you a few reasons, and you can take it how you choose. For example, Richard B. Spencer, and this is the guy who's, I think many of you know who he is. If you don't, he's the white nationalist movement, blah blah blah. He's partly responsible for the hoax in Charlottesville. He's a controlled plant. He goes from place to place. He stirs up dissension. He works for the enemies of Jesus Christ in the United States. David Duke, the former imperial wizard of the KKK. The Klan was founded by the same monsters who killed Jesus Christ. They create movements for white people, then they stare and control the movement to fit their own demonic and social agenda, which is and has always been the destruction of Christianity. William Pierce was one of the most influential white nationalists for 25 years. He was a vile POS who openly denied Jesus the Christ. Any other questions? I'm certain that any person who views my channel can see where my loyalties are. The devil and Google certainly know where my loyalties are. It's why I'm censored. But most of all, Jesus the Christ knows that I am loyal to him until death. And this is Richard Spencer, the con artist who is supposed to be helping white people. He is the enemy times 100. I assure you, this person is. So I went to this person, Shelby Hughes' channel, just to get a look of what kind of person this is. And on the very first page, to show you how lost so many are, this person has subscribed. I don't know who these people are because I'm not subscribed to anybody. But here's Tara McCarthy. She's given the Eye of Apollyon. Again, then there's somebody else, Asham Wolfguard. There's your triple pyramid right in your face. And this is a person who claims to know the truth. Let me make it clear to all of you. No, I am not a Nazi. In fact, I loathe these. Listen, as much as I am against the people who are anti-white, man, I grew up loathing these guys, man. And I grew up in a mixed neighborhood: blacks, whites, Mexicans, gays. I mean, we had it all. I hardly grew up liking these people, and as I became a man of Jesus Christ, I didn't gravitate toward some sort of a pro-white group. I gravitated toward Jesus Christ. Hitler. I've had people leave my channel because I'm not pro-Hitler, or they believe that I'm not white enough for you. Well, man, no true follower of Jesus Christ would think that Adolf Hitler was a good person. Nobody would look to him as a hero once you know the truth of what he truly was. Now, I know many of you want to use him as he took on the enemy. He did not do a damn thing but destroy. He was a pawn, and he allowed himself to be played because he was evil from the very jump. The KKK. First of all, if you have to wear a hood, a sheet, I have a problem with you. If I'm going to do battle with you, I don't mind you seeing me. I'm there for a reason. I've never had any inkling to be a part of any kind of backwood shit KKK. All right, spare me, man. So now that we've got that out of the way, I think most of you on my channel know that I've went out of my way to not preach hate, to not preach about violence, and I've tried to tell people, don't come to my channel preaching hate or talking about violence or talking about killing. Many of you want to go to war. Go have your war. You will lose. Because what's going on in this world with the devil and his children and everything that's happening, if the Almighty Father didn't want it to happen, it would not be happening. So when you think that you're going to go out and stop it, you're only going to have the Father mow you down. I have went out of my way to say no hate. I've had people leave my channel for telling me that I'm not pushing enough hate. I'm not white enough. Most of you don't want to fight unless your life was in danger. And I am pro Second Amendment. I believe in the right to bear arms, the right to defend yourself. I also believe in being responsible and being compassionate and decent and only fighting if the Almighty Father tells you, as he did his children, his Israelite warriors, it's time to fight. He hasn't told us that. And anybody who says different, you're lying to yourself. So if I'm not promoting hate and violence, let me ask you something. Why am I being censored by Google? I mean, if I don't push hate, violence, what am I doing? Well, let's go further. As time goes on and we get near the end here, and we are a country on fire, full of hate, full of evil. This country is so depraved. Some things are happening, and we see a movement that is growing and growing and growing, and it's about tolerance and intolerance and hypocrisy. So let's tell the truth about it. And at the end, let's talk about equality. Is this equality for all? Justice, hate, hypocrisy, the First Amendment? I will make my case before Jesus, Google, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, and Jesus the Christ will be our judge. You know, this is a big earth, man. A really, really big earth. There is more than enough room to live in peace and have your own beliefs. If all people truly desired peace, there's more than enough space for people if you choose to be separate or if you don't want to live around certain people, and that's your choice. There's more than enough room, whether it be the entire earth, the United States, whether it be the state of Virginia, or even a liberal city like San Francisco, or even just a neighborhood. If I moved into a neighborhood and I moved beside the most liberal, the antithesis of the views that I have, there would still be the ability to have peace if that person and I truly wanted to coexist peacefully. Doesn't mean that we have to have the same beliefs, but we can certainly live among one another without wanting to hurt one another, and we can if he does not have the same creator I do, fine. We can simply live and let the almighty creator, my father, or whoever, what he believes in, he or she, let them tell us who was right or wrong. But there certainly can be peace. This country does not have to be engulfed in constant warfare, but it's been created so that we can be in a perpetual state of hate, fear, and fighting. So I moved to this neighborhood. I move in beside this family, and this is symbolic. When I say me, I'm talking about you and I, all of our family. And when I say you, I'm talking about the other people. So we move in side by side. We don't bother them. I don't force my beliefs on them. I desire to live in peace and just serve my Father and do the best I can. However, they come next door and they start demanding that I accept their beliefs. Now, remember, I've not bothered them. I've done nothing to provoke them, but they have decided that they are going to come next door and they are going to start trouble with me for no reason. I explained that I can't accept their beliefs, because if I accept their beliefs, I would have to deny my own beliefs. But I tell them that you should be allowed to believe whatever you choose to believe as long as it doesn't bother me, and vice versa. But most importantly, I tell them I just want to live in peace. They tell me that I'm intolerant, I'm racist, I'm homophobic, xenophobic, and quite frankly, they tell me that I need to die. Yes, I need to die. So, I'll tell them again, let's live in peace and let's let our creators decide which of us is right, which of us is wrong. That sounds fair enough, doesn't it? I mean, isn't that really fair? That's still not good enough. You see, because these beings do not care about equality, they do not care about fairness, and they do not care about peace. What they really care about is hate, anger, and destruction. This is what they really care about. You see, they cannot be satisfied. There's a hole in them, and they have to fill this hole constantly with hate to survive. And if they cannot fill this hole with hate and evil, vile behavior, they simply cannot function. I begin to see them for what they truly are. They are the darkness, searching for more darkness. Now, they are the epitome of what they call themselves hate. They are the epitome of hate. Now, who's being tolerant here and who's being intolerant? I bend over backward to make peace, but yet they declare war on me and tell me that they want to kill me and my family for no reason. This is what's really, symbolically speaking, people, this is what's going on in Europe and the United States today. You see, these are the people that come to us looking a certain way with a knife behind their back wanting to harm us. At this point, I realize they hate me. It's not going to change. They hate me because of Jesus Christ and I belong to him. It has nothing to do with the content and the color of my skin. It has to do with Jesus Christ. It's about lies. It's about hate It's about hypocrisy and evil and a war that's been declared on us a long time ago. And then this neighbor starts a propaganda campaign. The propaganda starts that I must be a racist. You see, lightning hit a black person, must be my fault. The riots start. I'm a Nazi. I'm this, I'm that. When the truth is, I'm none of that. Being a God-fearing person, I say, I'll move. I'll move to another place. I'll start over. Even though I should not have to, I'll go to another place and I will start my life over. That's not good enough. So even after moving, that's still not good enough, because you follow me. You see, you follow me to my new home, to my new place. You follow me. You will not leave me be. You see, you have decided that you are going to declare war on me. So wherever I go, there you are. I'd say again, I'll tell you what I'm going to do for the last time. I'm going to move again. I'm going to pick another neighborhood further out. I'm going to move again. I'm going to move to another neighborhood, and I'll try to be near like-minded people, because I have that God-given right. Not good enough, because here you come again. Here you come again, chasing me, hounding me, trying to find me, and demanding that I accept your beliefs. After a while, this equation is really simple to solve, people. It has nothing to do with some KKK. You see, as ignorant and as full of shit as the KKK are, they have about 8,000 members. Now that's 0.0000003% of the United States population. These idiots have no national power. They have no financial backing. I'm talking about money, baby. Power. They have no power. Are you kidding me? This is not about some punk Nazi. No, this is about something way bigger. This is not about a white nationalist. This is about something way bigger, and it's about hatred toward me because I am a believer in Jesus Christ. You see, they hate Jesus, and he said that we would be hated for his name's sake. This is about deception. About deception in the last days, in a beast system that is being implemented, and it is on steroids now, man. It is running fast, and we are living it. And that's why I'm doing this video, because we need to get it together spiritually, and we need to get it together physically. The deception, this one world system, is not just a one world government, because there is no government. It's a one world religion. It's a one world everything. It's a one world breath, and the devil means to take his seat above it and say, it's mine, I'm going to rule over it. And this is the reality of it. Google knows this. Google doesn't care. Google knows that Rob Lee has never promoted hate, violence, or none of that, but I'm censored anyway. I'm censored because I tell the truth. I tell the truth. I don't lie. I don't pander. I tell the truth, and I try to serve my Father. I went out of my way to defend children. Google censored my videos. Think about that. Google censored me for defending children. You would think that Google would say, hey, we appreciate it. You know what? Even though I don't need a compliment from anybody, I get it from Jesus Christ. You would think Google would say, hey, we appreciate that. More videos like that. We'll try to promote those videos. Hell no. Just the opposite. They censored me on 4 different occasions for looking out for children. I try to make videos to tell people that this country is on fire, and that you need to pick your side. And if you are on the wrong side, you are going to pay for it. You can't, the confusion that you are in has to end. I don't do bogus news stories. I don't do breaking news or boom or pow or bam or shock or one of those videos or you won't believe this. I don't do that shit, and you people know it. I speak the truth. Breaking news is from liars in the media or shills on YouTube. I do neither. I serve Jesus Christ to the best of my ability. The propaganda is to control your mind and to make you believe their narrative. And their narrative is that you are bad because you're white. You're bad because you're a Christian. That's what this is about. People cut on the TV, and this is where it starts. This is where the propaganda starts for them, is the television and the internet. You know, the TV is the monster in your house. I don't watch TV. I gave up TV years ago. In fact, it was a big deal in my family. It caused arguments. You know, it's called a program for a reason. Your television is an electronic mind-altering device. Not only can it spy on you now, but it can actually harm you physically, mentally, spiritually. It is designed to psychologically change the way you view reality. Then we have the mainstream media. The media who they start the barrage of anti-Christian, anti-white, and it is non-stop 24 hours a day. It does not matter if it's mainstream media, left stream, right stream, alternative, because they're all the same. And I keep trying to tell you guys this, man, it's all the same. There is no media that works for you. You only have one recourse and one option. There may be certain channels that the Father has deemed these are going to be the children that I'm going to use to reach my other children. There is no mainstream media for our people. It does not exist. Everything that you think that you see and watch is owned by 6 families, man. They own it all, and they are not your friends. So what happens? What happens? Well, after a while of constantly having this deadly poison injected into our lives, it starts to take a toll on you physically and spiritually. You start to even maybe question if maybe it's true. You see, it's the same as drinking sewage water, and that's what it is. You drink sewage water, and even if you mix it with clean water, you're still drinking sewage water, and that's what many of you do. You'll find a couple good people on YouTube, and I've never told you that I'm the only one. There's other good Christians out there. But if they're not being censored, I would pay close attention. Even if you mix a lie with the truth and a truth with a lie, you don't have the full truth. You have lie mixed in. The same with the sewage water. And it comes down to a matter of rinse and repeat. Because they will play the same thing and rinse and repeat. Let's do it again. Rinse and repeat. Let's repeat it 24/7. Let's wake up the next day and we're going to do it again. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. 24/7 on every news channel, every movie, every song, everything that's out is designed to be anti-you. Now that's a lot of power, man. That's a lot of power. But again, it doesn't stop. Rinse and repeat. Let's do it again. Even the people that you think are for you are actually against you. And then we go to CNN and we'll see a couple nice. You see the pyramid right in your face. And right in your face. And then the people that are supposed to be anti-Muslim, they're anti-you also, you see. They're anti-you. And then the people who think that, well, Jones and Watson and Dice, they're anti-you. You see, they work for the same master, the same beast that is behind it all. That's who they work for. It's called divide and conquer, people. Tommy Sotomayor, the black guy, I've said this before, and David the Duke. You have a Klansman, a black guy. They put them together. They create a skit. People watch it, divide and conquer, because they're on the same team. Hollywood, where lies become reality. Again, rinse and repeat. Start the process, and it goes over again. It does not end. These are the same beings. It doesn't matter. It does not matter who they work for. They are on the same team. You have to understand this, man, or you will never, ever understand the world that you are living in. They work for the same people, and the masses will eat it up, you see. They have to reach the masses, and the masses will eat it up. And what's going to happen, people, is that we are going to be labeled the enemy. Jesus Christ told us that we are going to be hated for his name's sake. All these beings are on the same team. They're the enemy of Jesus Christ, ignorant, confused, or they're paid operatives. And this is everywhere. The BLM, KKK, Nazi, ADL, SPLC, NAACP, they all serve the star. They serve the star of Remphan, the star of Moloch. This is in your Bible. These are not my words. These are the words of your Creator and your Father. Again, you would think, well, they're opposites. No, they're on the same team. They serve the same master. You see, as we go forward, people, I want you to pay attention and read. and learn about true hypocrisy. And then we're going to read some Bible verses about hypocrisy, and I want you to think about this. Jesus Christ used the word hypocrite or hypocrisy 17 times when he was talking to the Pharisees. 17 times. Look it up for yourself. Read each verse, man. Open up the word and do the work. The world said we should be inclusive, no discrimination. All right. Black Panthers say a race riot is coming to Whitey. I say, do we have to fight? The head of the Black Panther Party years ago said he wants to kill black babies. He actually named them by name. I'm tolerant. I'm kind and compassionate. I ask you, this being has right now on YouTube and Google, it still has videos of him promoting this type of diabolical hatred. But I'm tolerant. I'm a man of Jesus Christ. I try to do the right thing. I try to say, why would you want to hurt innocent white children? And if you really want to be badass, come talk to me first. Don't bring your gun. Just come see me. And if you do want to hurt a white child, give me the chance to speak for the child. You won't make it to your destination. I promise you. Am I being evil? Am I being hate-filled? Am I being tolerant? Because I would turn around and tell the same-skinned man, black, brother, would you like to pray? Would you like to read together? Would you like to study the Bible together? Who's tolerant? Who's intolerant? Who's hate-filled? When black people say, I love my blackness, I love my skin, I love Black History Month, I say, I don't blame you. I love mine. When people say pro-black isn't anti-white, I agree. It's a choice. Pro-white isn't anti-black. Now, who's tolerant? Who's anti-tolerant? And why does Google keep censoring me? When Google will allow these videos, Where Do White People Come From? By Lucifer Lambu, again, a picture of an ape. How disrespectful to show a white man that we come from lepers, really? And black people founded Europe. Now, if I were to say the same things and the roles were reversed, Google would either censor me, strike me, or cancel me out. Is that hypocrisy? Is that hate? Is that lies? Is that evil? When Kamal Kambon and Barbara Lerner Spector said, every journey begins with the first step. We must end the so-called white race. Kamal Kambon went and stood in D.C. and told scholars that we must exterminate the white race. We must exterminate the white race. He was applauded. Nothing was done. His video still goes all around Google, YouTube, and social media. Can you imagine what would have happened if I would, even just lowly me, if I were to say that we should exterminate all black people? And let me ask you, what kind of a monster, a monster, would say that you would like to kill a white child? Who says things like that unless you are not pure evil? You are the epitome of evil. But again, I'm fair. Again, I'm a man of Jesus Christ. I know that some black people and white people can truly forge bonds and true friendships that aren't based on color. They're based on mutual trust, respect, and love for one another. I know it because I lived it. Now again, Google, who's tolerant, who is intolerant? As we move forward, I want you to read something from a rabbi. There shall be no remnants and survivors from the impurity of Christianity. Rabbi Baruch Efrat, Jewish school and head in the West Bank. Another rabbi in France. The Messiah will come only when Edom, Europe, he's confused already, when Christianity has totally fallen. So I ask you, is it good news that Muslims are invading Europe? It's excellent news. It means the coming of the Messiah. Excellent news. Now I ask you, people, who's tolerant? When the SPA, all races must work together to make Europe and America non-white, who's tolerant? When Noel, I can't pronounce his last name, I'm not even going to try. The goal of abolishing the white race is on its face so desirable that so many find it. Some may find it hard to believe that it could incur any opposition other than from committed white supremacists. You see, You see what this devil is doing. He's saying that even if you speak up and try to defend yourself from being killed, you must be a white supremacist. My God, people, do you not see it? He's saying that if you try to defend yourself from being murdered, you must be a white supremacist. His videos are all over Google. There's no censor. This demented, hideous being goes on to say, make no mistake about it, we intend to keep bashing the dead white males, and the live ones, and the females too, until the social construct known as the white race is destroyed. Now, I'm going to destroy all these people verbally in just a few minutes. Hold on tight, because I'm going to give them something that only the Almighty Father can give them. I'm going to show you something. Again, what kind of a monster would do that to innocent children? You see, there has to be something wrong with you. Why has Google not censored the videos where he is making these hideous statements? But why would they censor me? Again, who's tolerant? Who's intolerant? Who's full of hate? Who is full of hate? Who? Jesus will crush the serpent beneath his feet. I just like to remind them of this constantly. I want to remind you of it constantly. He is going to crush you beneath his feet. And there's not a damn thing that you can do about it. How about the former president of France, Nicolas Sarkozy? He actually said that the white people must meet the EU challenge of interracial marriage. Now, whether a black man wants to be with a white woman, or whether a white man wants to be with a black woman, Asian, Mexican, white, I don't care, man. That's your business. But who in the hell is this hideous monster to say that we're going to force it on you? I mean, do you not see what a hideous being he is to say we're going to make you do it? We're going to make you have interracial marriage. People, that's also called genocide. That's what it is. Now, before any of you try to tell me what's in the Bible about race, before you try to tell me anything that's in the Bible about homosexuals, listen to me. Very few of you, and I'm not trying to be rude. I'm certainly not trying to be arrogant. Very few of you are going to tell me anything that's in the Bible that I don't already know. Okay? I'm just telling you. So before some of you say, but hey, Rob, this is in the Bible. And that's, I know what's in the Bible. I'm telling you how I try to behave as a man. The propaganda, forgive me, I'm getting hoarse again. I'm not used to doing 35-minute, hour-long videos. Control of the mind. Then let's move on to La Raza. La Raza is called the race. And I could do an hour-long speech about the race too, because that's, if you really wanted to break out the Old Testament and really do some teaching, you could talk about the race, the people. And that's what it's called, La Raza, the race. The people. There is a people in the Bible called the people, the apple of the Almighty Father's eye. They're not called La Raza, Mr. Gutierrez. We have got to eliminate the gringo, and what I mean by this, if worse comes to worse, we must kill them. His videos are all over Google. All over Google. All over Google. Everywhere. It's all over social media. His comments are everywhere. Now, is this monster being tolerant or intolerant? Have you ever heard me say anything remotely close to this type of depraved hate and behavior? Hell no, you haven't. You never will. Let's go further. Now let's take his comments further. He is saying that it's okay to murder innocent women and, yes, people, children. You see, now I want you to stare at what we're really dealing with. You're dealing with beings who are saying, we'll kill your children. This is how incredibly... This is how incredibly evil these monsters are. We will kill your children. And Google, the ones who censor me, promote this shit. Black and brown power. I think it's beautiful, man. Black, brown power, tan power, red power, have all the power that you need. Not all Latinos people are anti-white. Some of them love Jesus Christ just like we do. And guess what? Some of them even love us. Oscar, I love you, brother. This is all meant to push us toward the Civil War. So they can go underground, and I'll teach this in my next video. They can go underground, and we can stay above ground and kill one another. You see, all these monsters here, they work for the same master. You see, Rothschild, Schiff, Warburg, Rockefeller, Morgan, Harriman, Lehman Brothers, Goldman Sachs, all the same monsters. How dare I say that? I'm censored. You see, the dragon will persecute our family, and right now we are feeling this persecution stronger than we ever have. You see, this hatred has been there for a long time. They never had the courage, they never had the power to take their sword out and say, we're going to kill you, because they knew that if they would have done that, they would have had their rear ends handed to them quickly. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. Tolerance or intolerance, people. Adam Kotsko, who said that whether or not your individual ancestors owned slaves, you as a white person have benefited from slavery and are complicit in it. Sorry. Now this is all over the internet, man. That white people, we owned slaves, we were slave owners. I grew up with black people. My family was dirt poor, going back generation after generation. From Northern Virginia to Florida to New York, we were dirt poor. Never had no slaves. Some of the best information that I get when I learn about enemies is from Jewish writers. And I know many of you on this channel think that I'm anti-Jew, just like some of you are dumb enough to think that I'm anti-black. It's just not true. In my life, I realized that there are some decent people everywhere, man. Everywhere there are some decent folks. The first 2 centuries, and this is called The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, and I've also read some wonderful books about slavery by black people. The first 2 centuries of the black-Jewish encounter in America were highlighted by a fairly extensive record of Jewish slaveholding. Indeed, during the colonial period, in the small Jewish community of the time, almost every Jewish household of any form, north or south, possessed at least one slave. Dr. Abraham Peck. The intelligent doctors tell them the truth. All over this earth, every race, black, Jewish, white, green, tan, red, yellow, purple, make it up if you want. Every race of people, every group, tribe, nation, tongue, at one time in their history has been slaves. This is a fact. But you are not taught this in academia. You're not taught this in church. The media, entertainment promotes just the opposite, that only black people were enslaved and it had to be white people that did it. That's a falsehood. So I have reminded Mr. Costco and all the rest of fact, at the height of slavery, only 1.5% at the height of slavery. Now, let me repeat it again for you. At the height of slavery, only 1.5% of white people owned a slave. That is about 1 in every 67 people had a slave. Now, I ask you, Google, am I being tolerant or intolerant by merely stating facts? Do these people, do you think they have benefited from slavery? Take a good look, Mr. Kotsko. Google, would you like to take a look at this child in the Appalachians of Kentucky? How about it? Do you think that he has benefited from slavery? How about these people who don't have shoes on their feet, Mr. Kotsko, you wretched, vile serpent? Have they benefited from slavery? How about this little angel? Jesus will crush you beneath his feet. I love reminding you because you know it's true. You know, the thing that's so amazing to me is this, and I'm going hoarse again. I guess whenever I do videos over half an hour, I'm just going to go hoarse. It's amazing to me that these evil monsters know the Bible better than my own people do. My people, most of them, do not open up the Bible. They don't know hardly anything that's in it. But these hideous beings know what's in the Bible. This is why they hate you, because they know who you really are. They know who Jesus Christ is, and they hate you for it. They know more about your Father's word than you do. This is about hate and hypocrisy, lies. Now, who's tolerant and who's intolerant? Who's trying to love all people and who's not trying to love all people? Let's go to the Muslims. Now, I've made many videos about Muslims. Not as many. You'll notice that I hardly put out any videos about Muslims now. We know that we have a Muslim problem in this country. I don't think I need to put a video out like some people do every day, because I don't make any money, to try to generate some revenue. We do have a problem with Muslims, but are we to believe that out of 1.5 billion Muslims that every single one of them are bad? Even though we may say, but they don't have the same beliefs as us, they could be wrong. So be it. We'll let the Father decide that. But we certainly would not be so ignorant to say that every Muslim's evil. You know, the problem is that we have allowed Islam has came into our schools, and we have removed Jesus Christ from school. We took out prayer from school. We took Jesus Christ out of school, and now we are trying to replace him with Allah, Kabbalah. I don't know if many of you can pick up on that. That's for those of you who are in the advanced class. Kabbalah, the book, and Allah. It's for the advanced class. Anyway, if we are practicing Muslims, we are above the law of the land. Mustafa Carroll, director, CARE, Texas, USA. Americans, we are your death. This is acceptable on social media, TV, Google, and media. Why? Why would that be acceptable? I've even defended Muslims. When they said that a Somali Muslim killed the woman in Minnesota, I said, no, that's a lie. Why blame a man when he did not do something, when it was a hoax? It was a lie. Where do, you know, with all these Muslims and immigrants are coming to Europe and the United States, how in the hell are they getting here? It takes money, man, power, resources to make that happen. Am I evil, Google, for simply posing the question, where are the resources coming from? It's from the banks. And who owns the banks? You see, people, if you dig deep enough, you can look right into the abyss and see the enemy that stares right back at you. Churches. What roles have churches played in the slow, well, it hasn't been slow, but it was slow in the initial stages, the decay of this country, the war on you? It started with the church. Yes, it started in the church. Yes, in the church. When churches have the Star of Remphan on them, there's a problem, people. When churches are worth $20 million, there's a problem, people. When churches never open the Bible, there's a problem, people. When churches have pyramids in the back, 501c3, C3 is 33, is in 1/3 of the angels that fell from heaven. You see, churches keep the hate and the propaganda going. They hate Jesus Christ and his flock. The modern church is nothing but a whorehouse, period. Hollywood. Should I maybe take just one bit of something to drink? If you guys will just bear with me just a second and let me get something to drink. Alright, I'm back. I'm not sure if that's going to do anything for me or not, but I'm back. And thank you guys for the few hundred of you who are going to be willing to watch this. I doubt it's going to be very many over that. Most people are not going to watch videos that are than an hour long, but thank you, and God bless you for the ones that have. Hollywood, and the role that Hollywood has played in this war against Christians and against innocent white people. Now, first of all, let me say, I know there are some evil white people. God knows I've met them. But most white people are just like innocent, man. They don't want to bother anybody. They just want to live their life. They want to live their life. Some of them want to worship their creator. They just want to live in peace. They're not trying to do anything to anybody. What role has Hollywood played in all this? Well, people will plop down in front of the TV, and the bigger the TV, the better. The bigger the TV, the better. And they will cut it on, and they will allow their minds to be turned to mush. They will be under hypnosis. They will go into a trance, and they will believe almost anything they see on the Tell Evil Vision. I told you, it's the monster that sits in your living room. I would implore you, beg you, take it, throw it away, sell it. But even selling it would be wrong, because then you would be giving something that's harmful to somebody else. Then so-called Hollywood stars, they work 365 days a year to promote this hate. It's amazing now that these people in Hollywood, celebrities, they call themselves stars and celebrities. Why do they call themselves stars? And there's the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and there's stars on it. And notice that all of them are anti-us. Anti-us. Why? Revelation 12:4, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, and the dragon is the devil, which was ready to be delivered for to devour her child as soon as it was born. This is why they are called stars. The third part is 33 1/3. Occult numbers 33 1/3. 33 1/3. Let's go to the book of Jude. Raging waves of sea foaming out their own shame, wandering stars to whom is reserved the blackness of the darkness forever. These are what the fallen angels, the demonic bloodline, is referred to. Stars. So you see stars, right? And people that call themselves stars because they know they are part of that seed. They have that bloodline. The world refers to them as stars. This is how the devil mocks you. Yes, they are from the stars who fell to earth and took flesh form. If you don't believe it, that's fine. You can go to another channel and you can believe lies. I'm teaching you the truth. They serve the devil because they don't give a damn about fairness. They don't care about equality. They care about their demonic agenda that is to destroy us. And I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. Remember these words. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and he went to make war. And now you see, I've shown you the war. He went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. They make war 24/7 with the true children of our Father. The devil and his children don't care about equality because they are doomed. Didn't you just read Jude? It said that they are what? People. They are wandering stars who is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. They're doomed. They believe they are going to wage war against Jesus Christ and defeat him. Speaking of my king, let's read something as to why they hate him so much, and they don't hate false and little false gods. Notice none of them ever hate Allah, Buddha, Krishna, Shiva, Kali. Never hate them. Why Jesus? Because they know the truth. Remember, even when the demons in the Bible would meet Jesus, they would drop down in fear. They knew, and they would ask him, why have you come for us now? They knew the truth. Revelation 19:14 in the armies. We're going to read this, and I want you to understand exactly what this means, all right? So let's go over here and let's do this. Revelation 19:14, and the armies which were in heaven followed upon him white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. That means pure. Verse 14. What do armies do, people? Armies fight. Armies kill. Jesus Christ is telling you he's bringing an army to do what? Revelation 15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that he should do what? Smite the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of Almighty God. Now, what does the word smite means? It means to fatally strike. Think about that. This is the Jesus that you want here talked about. He's going to do what? Smite the nations, rule them with a rod of iron. He is going to fatally strike them, and then rule over them with a rod of iron. And you wonder why they hate Jesus Christ. But for them to hate him, they must know something. They must know that this is not a game. This is not a joke. That Jesus the Christ has the power to, and he is going to do this. Let's continue. Verse 15, it says he's going to rule them with a rod of iron. Now the ones who he does not kill with his army, he's going to rule over them. You see, Jesus Christ is representing, when he comes, the wrath of the Almighty Father, who says, it's time, enough is enough. Now it's time for everybody to answer. Everybody is going to answer. How do we overcome this hatred and this evil and this war against us? And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Jesus Christ gave his life for us. Do you understand, man? He was killed for you and I. Our testimony with our mouth and spirit is our love and devotion to him. Even if it means death, We have to love him more than we love this depraved world. What is the link that joins all these beings together? They are the children of the devil. That's why you see this great, massive coalition forming together to destroy you, because they are serving their master, their father. You do not have the same father. And for anybody who says, yes, but God, we're all God's children. No, we're all God's creation. We're not all God's children. Read your Bible. In Revelation 15, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away. The beings that I've showed you are the architects of this flood. They have put it together. They put it together. You're going to be persecuted, people. It's going to be nonstop. It's not going to end until Jesus Christ comes. And the earth helped the woman. And the earth opened up her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. Do you and I have any power to stop this flood? This is why I'm always telling people, what do you think that you're going to do to keep this from happening? You don't have the power to do anything. The only thing that you can do is pray and love your Father. If the devil comes and knocks on your door, leave the door shut. If he tries to come in, you fight. You fight and you win. Do we have any power? No, to stop it. However, our Father can stop it in any manner he chooses. You remember that. It says that the earth will swallow up the flood. These hate-filled beings, these evil monsters, are going to be swallowed up. That's why they despise you. Some say, I don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe in the Father. Let me tell you this, man. If you can't hear the truth, you will damn sure feel the wrath of the Almighty Father. You choose. You decide. It's one or the other. And to the evil monsters again, hey, Jesus is going to crush you beneath his feet. I just like reminding you. You see, it doesn't matter if it's the clan, if it's him, her, him. It doesn't matter. They all serve this. They serve the star of Remphan. They serve the devil. They hate Jesus. And again, we're going to be hated for his name's sake. So as we close this video, I want you to think about something here. Now, if we are wonderfully made, if we are made in his image, I want you to think about this now. Remember, we do not have the same Father, correct? Okay, if we are made in the Father's image, I want you to think, critical thinking. If we are made in the Father's image, they hate us. Do you see why they hate us? We are made in his image. We are from him. They have a different Father. Do you not understand? This is why there's so much hatred between them and us. They hate us because they know who we are. When you can kill a child, man, when you can say that these children are evil because they're white, what kind of a person are you? But you're not really a person. You're a demonic being. And what happens when you tell certain people this constantly? You can drive some people to depression. You can actually mess with them psychologically and emotionally to make them believe that they're evil for something that they've never done. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book before one of them came to be. If that doesn't move you, you can't be moved. Your Father loves you. He created you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're beautiful. They hate you because of it. Your Father knew you before you were born. And yet they tell you that you're hated and you're evil because you're white. It goes far, far deeper, people. Far deeper. Take a good look at the puppets. Take a good look at them. Take a real good look at them, people. I mean, really take a real hard look, man. I hope you see it. I hope you see it. And we have to be aware of lies and hoaxes and deceit. This is part of the war, the trickery and the deceit that the devil and his puppets are going to use. You take this picture right here. Orangutan gives birth to a human baby. This is the equivalent of the bombings, the stabbings, the shootings that we constantly hear, and the majority of them are made up lies. Look at this picture right here. This was from a couple years ago. All over the world, all over social media, people actually believed that it was real. It was a real story. They have to have the naivete and the ignorance of the masses to be able to accomplish their goal. They have to have the masses to, in unison, they have to go along. Yes, we will buy into your lie. We will buy into the great lie. So as we approach these end times, I want you to be prepared, because the devil and his children are going to ramp it up, man. It's not going to get better, it's going to get worse. Before it gets better, it's going to get far worse. There's nothing that we can do, people. Alright? There's nothing that we can do. The only thing that we can do is endure and be faithful sons and daughters. That's what we can do. In this final battle of this epic war, you should tell your Father and your Creator that you are with Him every day. You should tell Him because He's your Father and you love Him, and you should do it because you mean it. You win with His Son, Jesus the Christ, or you do not win. And this is a fact. And many people are going to have the door shut for denying Him. And I don't mean after they die. I mean while they are alive, the door will be shut. We are going to be taking on hideous, hideous monsters. And I've been slowly trying to show you what you are up against, man. You are up against demonic beings that are so evil. It's hard for me sometimes to even put together the words to describe these evil, wretched beings. Please read your Bible and pray. And if you don't have a 1611 or a King James Bible or a Geneva Bible, please get one. The older, the better. Your Bible should have 80 books in it, not 66. Remember, you should have 80 books in it, not 66. The Apocrypha. If you have a modern Bible, you're not getting the entire Bible. You're missing words, verses, scriptures. It's been contaminated all to hell. Let me go ahead and close by saying this, that please stay in prayer. Quit watching TV. Quit watching serpents that don't give a damn about you. And the United States and Canada are the jewels, man. They are the prizes. You know, this has to do with the Old Testament, Israel. It goes, the United States, man. I mean, North America and Europe were the prizes for, I'm not even going to get into it right now. Canada, in my opinion, God bless my brothers and sisters in Canada, but you're about done, man. I mean, they're ready to just basically just take over. You're outnumbered. You can't defend yourself. The only thing that you have right now, and it's just the way the Father wanted it, the only thing that you have to turn to is to Him. That's it. The United States, how I love you. I love you. I love this country. I love my people. I love this country, man. We are right there with them. We're just a few steps away because we still have our teeth. But unless our Father gives us the strength to use those teeth, if it ever comes about, it doesn't matter. 1 Corinthians 10:21, you cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of the devils. You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and the table of devils. It's time to choose a side for many of you. I mean, truly commit to Jesus Christ. You cannot sit on the fence. You must want Jesus the Christ. And if you deny Him, He's going to deny you before His Father and His angels. I want you to understand how serious this is, man. This isn't a game. And the enemy that you're up against, they know it's not a game. Man, they're playing for keeps. They're all in. They are all in. It's not a game. Your Father can do anything for you. Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither is His ear heavy that it cannot hear. This is your Father. He can do anything He damn well pleases. I'm a daddy's boy, meaning I'm a father's boy. I run to my Father for everything. I do. I like being I like being a father's boy. I love being the son of my creator. I love it. There's nothing I wouldn't want to trade it in for anything. But I would be remiss in my duties if I did not read to you verse 2. But your iniquities have separated between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear. You see, we have to behave and be good, loyal sons and daughters, man. And then when you pray, you can have full confidence that your Father will hear you. And if you need something, not want, but need, your Father will provide it for you. There's no need to ask how. The Father does whatever he wants, however he wants. He's the Father. Keep building your house. If you're in the process of working, it's a process for all of us. Tearing down the old house, building a new one. And if you felt like that you've built your house up and it's strong, you got to keep it clean, man. Temptation is going to constantly come at you, constantly, from everywhere. I want to say something, and then we'll go ahead and close. We are only going to serve Jesus Christ. We don't serve any other, nothing. You can tell somebody you respect them, you'll give them their space, but you can never, ever, ever say that you're willing to compromise your belief in Jesus Christ for them, ever. The wrath of God is coming, people, and it's not a game. This is not a game. I want to say something in closing about the Mystery Babylon, and I'll do a video about it, I hope, soon. Many people have been telling lies about it. I've noticed that it's all over the internet. It's all over people in churches, academia, websites. This is Walid Shubat, who says that Mystery Babylon is Mecca, not Vatican. He is a demonic liar. Is it Rome? Is it America? No, man. Nobody seems to know who it is, but I mean, some of you probably do. You've read the Bible. The Bible, Jesus Christ told us where this world was going to, where this world was going to be ruled from. I love you guys. God bless. Take care of yourselves. I'm sorry this video took so long, and I'm sorry that it lasted so long. I feel confident, though, that I was able to cut down the tree. Please take care of yourselves. Stay in the Word and do the right thing, and love your Father. In Jesus' name, God bless you all.